Good morning. Wanted to do a quick check-in this morning. The Gangsta Grannies are doing well. It's early in the morning, and they're in the guest house, so I can't tell if they're stirring yet. Oftentimes, they are up early, doing their work. This process is a very structured writing process, reflection process. And so typically we gather late morning to give them time to move into their day at a pace that feels good for them. So I thought while they're here, I'd do just some check in and commentary about what's happening and just what's going on. And yesterday was busy for me. I was out of the house early. I had my pottery class. That's where I was at yesterday morning. And so I was up and we had breakfast together early in the morning. And then I jetted out to my class and we came back and had a mid afternoon healing circle session. And, part of that is the flexibility that I'm grateful for. And one of the ladies messaged me and says, can we push it back instead of 1:30? Can we push it back to 2? Because I feel like I need to get something to eat and take a walk. And it was absolutely. And so we did. We gathered and we were able to share that time. And really, that's where we create a space that's safe, that's intentional about holding the trauma that we're working through. And so I'm grateful for being able to be in a place that moves at a pace that really reflects um, life at a pace that feels more balanced. I'm really grateful for that. I'm grateful for being able to, move slowly into my day on days that I want to. I left the house early yesterday. I had my outside clothes on very early, which made me feel much more awake early in the morning than I want to. I wake up early normally, but normally when I'm awake early, I don't have to put my outside clothes on. I can just lounge around the house. And I really like life at that pace, lounging. And yesterday did not. Yesterday felt like a lot of motion. One of my friends who works in the shamanic practices came by and we had popcorn together and we chatted. But I try to do as most of my conversing in Spanish when I'm talking to Spanish speakers. One, it gives me practice and it lets me see my progress. When you can have a conversation and then that conversation, like, whoa, wait, I had words for that. I'm still getting my coffee this morning. Um, had words for that and meaningful conversations. And so I'm super excited about that. He's a friend that I met uh, maybe almost 2 years ago, actually. I met him on a journey way into the heart of Ecuador to go see a shaman uh, about healing, my own personal healing, and met him and then reconnected here in Cuenca about a year later. And he said, this is the second time in all of Cuenca, I mean, all of Ecuador, and we've crossed paths again. And we have some friends in common, some associates, acquaintances in common. And one of the things that he has offered in the past with other visitors has been to hold ceremony. I'm going to turn some lights on. Um, really about intention, setting your intentions, establishing your intentions, but the releasing of things necessary to be able to get clarity. And we were talking about perhaps offering that same opportunity for the ladies that are here, the Gangsta Grannies. And so we were able to talk that out and plan that out and um, coordinate, do a little bit of coordination. One of the places that I suggested they make a visit to or offered them to visit is Pachamama Hill, the plateau up above where I live. It's along a portion of the Incan Trail that you can hike, which for me was just like walking history, being able to actually walk the stones of a portion of the Incan Trail and then to realize it's in my backyard. And Pachamama Hill would have been that place where ceremony, would have been performed. I went, I think it was last year at the end of Intirami, which is the summer solstice, this time of year, the solstice that happens just a little bit earlier in the year. And towards the end of that celebration time, there was the walk to Pachamama Hill. It's a plateau that sits up over this valley. And it's quite a magnificent view. But as we were there, the shaman that was performing the ceremony, guiding us in that, as we got up to the top, said, take your feet off, take your shoes off. Take in the energy. This is holy ground. Take in the energy of this space. And there's a lot of science that talks about grounding, but this was a little bit deeper. This was really about this spiritual practice of connection with the heavens and the earth. And it's a great place to go. It's peaceful. You have to go with intention. It takes a little bit of time to get to the location, even if you drive up to the top and walk in. But definitely if you hike in from the bottom. But it's a place that is excellent view. It's one of those places that I go and I've been looking for those experiences in life that give me awe. What are the things in life that still, take your breath away? And it's one of those kind of places and one of those kind of views that you can turn around in a 360-degree radius. And, this plateau just looks out into the Cajas Mountains in the distance and looks over the city. I can literally see the building that I live in from there. It looks like a little, dot, but it's just awe-inspiring for me. And I go up there and take my kite. And on the last set of visitors, we took a picnic basket. And so my friend has offered to not only hold ceremony while the ladies are here on Saturday morning, but to do it at Pachamama Hill. So I get to take them to Pachamama Hill and get to share this experience with them, with my friend Hector. And so I'm really grateful for that. And so the afternoon was spent in conversation. He and Wida talked. Part of his training from in Venezuela has to do with using herbs to heal. And that's one of the things that one of our Gangsta Grannies is very interested in and quite knowledgeable in, about healing our body with the natural medicines that are available in plants and food. And so they were able to communicate. And then we got the praise report. Awida was out in the neighborhood and she wanted some things and she ventured on down to the store, which has moved. It used to be right next door and now they've moved down into the next block. So it's a few more steps to get there, but she was able in her walking to go to the store and be able to do what she needed. She was able to communicate in the neighborhood. There was a lady that was selling ice cream. She told me, I don't know who that lady was, but somebody was selling ice cream and she was able to communicate with that. And just we talked and we said, yeah, it's letting go of the insecurities. If you let that go and just focus on communicating well, it happens. It happens easier than you think, but it's so much easier when you let your guards down. And by no means is it perfect Spanish. You just are communicating effectively. And sometimes it's sign language and parts of Spanish sentences, and you've got words, but she was able to go and ask for what she wanted, what she needed, and came back successful, and I think quite proud of herself, quite accomplished, feeling quite accomplished to be able to do that. Those are some things that I know create insecurity moving to a foreign country. And so with them coming only for a month and with limited Spanish, being able to maneuver in community with a little bit of Spanish you have and realizing that that is enough. Is another one of the experiences that hopefully the ladies are having, but definitely Wida was experiencing yesterday. And so because we're doing our circle earlier in the day, the ladies are really free to be able to plan their energy out. And they both were eating. We had hummus, heavy snacks, hummus, and I don't know what all else they were eating last night. We got soup and other things that we've made and we kind of been eating off of for the past couple of days. And then they said to me, good night. Good night. We're gone. We're going up to our spaces. And do the wind down. One of the things that's really nice here is the consistency in the rhythm of the day. We're 2 degrees south of the equator, and there's about a 30-minute window of variation of sunset and sunrise times throughout the year. So the sun always rises around 6 to 6:30, and it always sets around 6 to 6:30 in the evening. And so there's a real balance to the day. So the sun goes down, and your body starts, winding it down. That okay, it's going into nighttime. It's going into evening time. And they took their leave. It was before 7 o'clock. I know it was before 7 o'clock because at 7 o'clock, Fitbox starts in the park. And so the music is up, and I send them a message, Fitbox, like I'm the announcer for the neighborhood. If anyone is interested in going and doing Fitbox by 7 o'clock, it's dark. I don't have, I'm usually, in house clothes, and I watch them. And we just said yesterday morning, she was saying that from where they are, they're 2 floors higher than I am, so they have a much better view of the park. And so she can see them, and she exercised with them in the house. So I can see them out of my kitchen window on the front side, but I have trees that block where they're at, where I'm sitting at now, out my window. So I can't see them from sitting at my window. I have to kind of go around in my kitchen and peek and see them down the park. But they have a clear view, so she was able to participate from inside. So this just really provides a really easy um, place to move slower. We've been talking about some activities. They're going to go with me and participate in the Raku firing tomorrow, which will be exciting. We're going to take a picnic lunch and go and just participate in that festivity and watching the amazement of this pottery that we put in this kiln, and it fires it up like glass, and take it out and see what it becomes. So I'm excited about that. We're looking at going on an art walk and breakfast on Sunday morning, but there's things that they can participate in. The ladies and I are going to the spa on Friday. It's one of my favorite places, but we'll be doing our Sankofa circle at the spa. Um, we'll take a break in the midst of that and be able to hold that sacred space for each other. And so I'm excited about that as well. And the ladies are pushing through. We're working on step 1. We're almost at the end of that step, where we'll move on then to the next part of this process. But it's been heavy. It's been heavy. It's work, which is why rest is so important. That rest is a part of the formula. How do you continue to pull deeply during this time that they're here on this sabbatical? And the answer is you have to refuel. That they're on a schedule where I have really looked at what feels comfortable. If you're committed to the healing work, it's intense, but what feels comfortable and manageable in a way, that you really do have the energy to go there and have enough time to then unpack and let the emotions subside and refuel. And that rhythm is what they're responsible for in this work exchange. Normally, when individuals come down, I do some of that refueling. Um, we have all of the meals prepared so that there isn't that responsibility. And there's excursions that are planned to be able to help with refueling. But on this work exchange, they're taking that responsibility on their own to be able to meet the needs that they have emotionally. And that requires them to be honest about the needs, to be honest, to say things like, can we push our scheduled time back so that I can go take a walk because that's what I need, or a nap, or go get a snack, or whatever the circumstances are where you need to manage your time. And so this really provides that flexibility. And I'm grateful that the ladies are taking that responsibility seriously and making those decisions for their life. If you need to go take a walk, take a walk. If you need to go take a nap, take a nap. Um, and that our program really supports that, encourages that. So today will be just a regular day. Thinking about grits this morning. I did not, at our market, they have corn, and it's the same thing that you would use for grits typically. It's not the same, but it's pretty close. And if you go to the grocery store, you have it in the different grinds, different fineness. And our market didn't have the one as fine as I would like to just use immediately. But I got the one that's a little more coarse, and I just put it in the Vitamix and blend it a little bit so that it gets it a little more fine. Just takes a little less time to cook, more further away from ultra coarse stone ground grits to much more finer, like regular 5 minute kind of grits. And so I'm thinking about grits and eggs, and we'll see what else this morning. We did big market day on Saturday. A big market day sometimes because the fruit is so ripe, and we've had lots of us eating it. Midweek, usually I go and do another run. So it's raining this morning, a little drizzly, but that'll probably change in about an hour, and the rain will be gone more than likely. In whatever the case, I'll probably go to the local tienda around the corner and get us some additional fruit. Also, so that we have some fruit for our picnic tomorrow. I'll have my picnic basket out and add a little more fruit to our stash. I was just thinking through, and we're pretty low on fruit. So I'll probably go do that, make that run and get us some more fruit and see what else is in the refrigerator, because that's kind of the game that I play. Go to the market and then look and see what you have, and then figure out what you're going to cook, but hurry up and eat it so that when market day comes, you don't have a whole lot of produce, perishables there. So I think we've got cabbage, red cabbage that's shredded up. It's probably going to be a stir fry. Um, I forgot. Yesterday I was thinking about something. Oh, the tomatoes. Weta was sharing with me a recipe that she's used before. That's just a really nice combination of tomatoes and carrots, and for the sweetness, onions and garlic, and oregano. And I've got some of this interesting. They call it Cuban oregano or Mexican mint. It smells like a very strong oregano, but it's a thick leaf, almost like a succulent, that's growing in my patio garden. And so we'll probably do that, and maybe that over some rice, um, basmati rice. Weta brought some basmati rice. I told her I probably can get it here, but I didn't have it, and she likes that kind, so she just brought it with her. And so maybe we'll do that over rice for lunch or dinner today. And so it's just a game of hurrying up and using the things. Both of us, we made 2 pots of soup this week, a vegetable chicken soup with turnips and some other veggies. And then I made a tom kha soup, which is like a coconut milk soup with some of the fresh lemongrass off of my lemongrass plant. And then on the second day, we did that we added broccoli. I added broccoli to the tom kha soup. And I think we'd added some more broccoli to the vegetable chicken soup. So we've had that for a couple of days to be able to eat. And it's going to be an easy day today, probably. I don't have a whole lot planned today. I'm working on the next season of my podcast and did some interviews recently. And now the editing part is the hard part for me. So I've worked on it a couple days with very little progress. Sometimes I just feel like I'm going in circles trying to get the editing stuff done. So I will probably do that. I feel like I've got editing energy today until I don't. So I'll catch that early this morning while my energy's high enough to be able to fiddle with it. And it'll be an easy lounge day today for me. I don't know what the ladies have planned for their social agenda, but I'm just grateful. I'm grateful. I hope you've been following them, and they've been sharing their journey on Instagram and on Facebook. Danielle Brooks and Ouida Patton. That's Ouida Patton. Check them out. If you haven't been following them, go check and kind of go back a week or so and catch up on their progress and what's happening and the insight and the revelation that's coming to them in their own life as they chronicle this healing journey as well. So, what else is going on? Definitely check out the books. Revolution Must Come to Our House or Home. Part 4 of this book really shares the healing tools. We want you to use them. You can order the book online, or on an electronic copy on online. You can go to the website and find links for that, or you can get the print copy on Amazon. The second book in the social tech series really is about prioritizing yourself and some practices. That's the word, practices that I began really using as I realized I wasn't really doing a good job of prioritizing myself in life. I said I was in some instances. A lot of times I knew I wasn't. And so I just didn't tell that lie. I knew I was, dogging myself out, evidenced by, two blown out knees. And then you still don't stop and really, reflect on why you're doing this to yourself and recognize the damage in my own life that was keeping me from taking care of myself well. And so this really is a tool to be able to help with that. The ladies are using some of that journaling here this month. And then the third in the social tech series really is a much more creative expression, some poetry that really ties to this work and ties to things that are meaningful for me. All of them are available online. What else? Soul Safari. That's what I'm super excited about. The Healing Vacation Retreat is a 1 week exposure opportunity to learn about these tools and really have the coaching to help you with using these tools and give you kind of a foundational start into the healing first modality, the healing first lifestyle or movement. And this year, we have the opportunity to take the Healing Vacation Retreat to Kitale, Kenya. And I'm super excited about that. We want people to come. We want you to sign up. We want you to come go with us. That retreat will be November 6th through the 13th in Kitale, Kenya at the Tabasamu Africa Hub. There's information on the websites, both globalundergroundrailroad.com, which is the website for the International Welcome Center, as well as our collaborative page, which is nowastedtime.com, that tells you a lot more about the social tech work and the convertible community work and the Global Underground Railroad beyond just the center. A little bit about our visioning, some of the intentional community building projects, just a bunch of stuff. The Women Heal Together initiative. There's links to, of course, Gangsta Grannies Global. But there's information about not only the books, but the Soul Safari. And just encourage you to reach out if healing and a healing first lifestyle is really a part of your heart. We want you to come and share with us and learn these tools. And we want you to come do it in Africa. We want you to come with us to Kenya. And so we want you to get your deposit in place and start booking your airfare. The Healing Vacation Retreat just is a wonderful experience. It's an all-inclusive experience. So outside of your plane ticket and your visa, everything's included from the time you touch down in Kenya at the airport. Everything's been curated, the excursions, the transportation, your lodging, your training. And I'm really excited about the team. Davi and Jashuki are part of the training team. And part of this is really about doing commerce, even commerce differently and through a healing first lens and paradigm. And so our leaders have been preparing for the past several months with their own personal training and their own personal healing using these tools. And that's exciting where people come together and there's a project and it's a commercial project. It's a project and we're charging people money to be able to come. But where our leaders say as a non-negotiable, in order for us to work together, we're going to heal together. And that's real meaningful to me. And I'm really excited about the team. Every time we meet, I tell them, you guys motivate me. Their passion for their work, their lane, their life um, motivates me and encourages me. So I'm super excited about working with them. So we want you to come. If you'd like more information, reach out. You can send an email to friends at nowastedtime.com or just reach out on all the social media platforms. If you're on TikTok and find us, if you're on YouTube and find me, if you're on Facebook and find me, just reach out, send a message, let me know you're interested, and we'll go from there. So, all right, I'm going to finish my coffee and I'm going to move on to grits and eggs for today. I think that's going to be the um, formula for this morning. Thanks for joining me. Thanks for letting me just kind of ramble off my thoughts because this helps me to kind of just chronicle in real time what's happening here during this month with the Gangsta Grannies Global. Please check them out. Check out their social media. Follow them. Encourage them. Encourage their healing. You can find that at gangstagranniesglobal.com. There's a link in the chat. And thanks for letting me just chime in and share with you and chronicle the journey so far. And stay tuned. Have a great day. Live life fully today.